Namaskar friends, welcome to Headlines of the Day. In this video, we will discuss major headlines of the Hindu. Before we start, I would say every champion once a contender that refused to give up. तो चलिए फिर इसी के साथ आज की इंपॉर्टेंट खबरों पे नजर डालते हैं. पहली इंपॉर्टेंट हेडलाइन है वॉर कॉजिंग इमेंस ह्यूमन सफरिंग G20. इट इज अवेलेबल ऑन पेज नंबर 1 और ये रिलेटेड है पेपर 2 इंटरनेशनल ग्रुपिंग से. In this article, we have to know highlights of the G20 declaration and G20. So friends, recently leaders of G20 grouping said the war in Ukraine is causing economic difficulties and insecurity worldwide, and therefore it is essential to uphold international law and multilateral system. Our next important headline is at COP27, India and 3 other oppose carbon border tax. It is available on page number 1 और ये related है paper 3 environment section से. In this article, we have to know about carbon border adjustment tax, what is driving the European Union in that direction, and stand of other countries in this context. So friends, at COP27, India along with China, Brazil, South Africa have jointly stated that carbon border taxes must be avoided because it could result in market distortions and aggravate the trust deficit among parties. अगर हम carbon border tax की बात करें दोस्तों, it is the duty on imports based on the amount of carbon emissions resulting from production of the product in question. It was proposed by European Union, right? Our next important headline is this unseating of vice chancellors is faulty. It is available on page number 6 और ये related है paper 2 polity and governance से. In this article, we have to know about the recent judgments of Supreme Court of India on the appointment of vice chancellors in state universities, रिपरकशंस, ऑपोजिशंस एंड वे फॉरवर्ड. तो दोस्तों इन सारे पॉइंट्स को यहाँ पे बहुत शानदार तरीके से एक्सप्लेन किया गया है. अगर हम ओवरव्यू देखें तो दिस आर्टिकल इज बेस्ड ऑन द 2 recent judgments of the Supreme Court of India on the appointment of vice chancellors in state universities. Our next important headline is Quest for Transparency in FTA Negotiations. It is available on page number 7 और ये रिलेटेड है पेपर 2 इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन से और पेपर 3 इसको इकोनॉमी से भी लिंक किया जा सकता है. इन दिस आर्टिकल वी हैव टू नो अबाउट फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट, अपडेट्स ऑन इंडियाज FTAs, देयर इम्पैक्ट्स ऑन द इकोनॉमी एंड फ्यूचर प्रोस्पेक्ट्स. तो दोस्तों ये सारे पॉइंट्स यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किए गए हैं, आप एक बार गो थ्रू कर सकते हैं. अगर हम फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट की बात करें तो it is a pact between 2 or more countries where objective is to remove trade barriers of imports and exports and ensure hassle-free trade relations as far as possible. अगर हम इंडिया के कंटेक्स्ट में बात करें तो इंडिया इज नेगोशिएटिंग FTAs with countries such as European Union, Canada, UK and Israel, right? बाकी अदर पॉइंट्स के लिए you can go through this article. Our next important headline is unknown sources of income spied after electoral bond entry. It is available on page number 7 और ये related है paper 2 polity and governance से. In this article we have to know about electoral bond scheme, features, objectives, issues and what lies ahead. तो दोस्तों electoral bond scheme को हमारी वेबसाइट पे recently कवर किया गया है, लिंक अवेलेबल करा दिया गया है डिस्क्रिप्शन में. उसके अलावा आप यहाँ से भी गो थ्रू कर सकते हैं, बहुत अच्छे पॉइंट्स गिवन है. अगर हम ओवरव्यू देखें तो electoral bonds are pitched as an alternative to cash donations made to political parties and it intends to cleanse the system of political funding in the system, right? And अभी न्यूज में क्यों है ये? क्योंकि recently center amended the electoral bond scheme, right? Our next important headline is who should pay for climate damage. It is available on page number 8 और ये related है paper 3 environment section से. In this article we have to know why is compensation against loss and damage due to changing weather events on the main agenda at COP27. What is the amount required to meet the world's climate goals? Where does India stand when it comes to global greenhouse gas emissions? तो दोस्तों इन सारे पॉइंट्स को यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया गया है, आप एक बार देख लीजिएगा. Our next important headline is what is the target level of retail inflation? It is available on page number 8 और ये related है paper 3 economy section से. In this article we have to know how is the Reserve Bank of India viewing recent trends in retail inflation? Does a drop mark the beginning of sustainable downtrend in inflation figures? तो दोस्तों इन पॉइंट्स को आप यहां से देख लीजिएगा. ठीक, अगर हम ओवरव्यू देखें अभी ये न्यूज में क्यों है? क्योंकि इंडियाज रिटेल इन्फ्लेशन ड्रॉप टू अ 3-month low of 6.77% in October when compared to the same month last year, right? Our next important headline is India deploys new docks, upgrades speedboats for Pangong Tso Patrol. It is available on page number 10 और ये related है paper 2 international relations से. In this article we have to know about Pangong Tso Lake, its relevance for India, issues linked to it, recent developments and way ahead. तो दोस्तों recently Indian Army has deployed new landing docks and speedboats for patrolling on the Pangong Tso Lake in eastern Ladakh मैचिंग द चाइनीज डिप्लॉयमेंट्स ऑन द लेक लोकेटेड क्लोज टू 14,000 फीट। अगर हम पैंगोंग लेक की बात करें दोस्तों, it has been area of constant friction between India and China for a long time and India holds 1/3 of the lake, right? बाकी अदर पॉइंट्स के लिए आप इस आर्टिकल को गो थ्रू कर सकते हैं, ठीक। Our next important headline is demonetization was part of steps to boost the formal economy. It is available on page number 10 और ये related है paper 3 economy section से। In this article we have to know about demonetization and its impacts on the economy। तो दोस्तों अभी न्यूज में क्यों है ये? क्योंकि यूनियन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर recently told the Supreme Court that demonetization in November 2016 was one in a series of transformational economic policy steps which led to phenomenal growth in digital transactions, shrunk fake currency, and saw more income tax payers, right? Our next and last important headline is UK India to launch Young Professionals Exchange in 2023, says Downing Street. It is available on page number 13 और ये related है paper to international relations से। In this article we have to know about UK India Young Professional Scheme 2023। तो दोस्तों recently UK India Young Professional Scheme was confirmed, offering 3,000 places to 18 to 30-year-old degree educated Indian nationals to come to the UK to live and work for up to 2 years। तो दोस्तों आज के लिए इतना ही। Thanks for listening. For regular updates you can follow us on various social media platforms।